Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone and depending from where you're watching us from. This is Biafra Watchman TV. We are live and we are direct. We are here once again to bring you the gospel of redemption at your doorstep. We are here once again to speak that bitter truth without fear or favor. If today is your first time of coming across our video, please subscribe, like, and share the video to go viral. The purpose of liking the video is for YouTube to suggest the video to many subscribers and many YouTube users. All right, quick one. I believe the trending issue now, a trending issue all over the world is the just book, is the book of IBB, book he launched the other day, couple of days. And a lot of people have been reacting on what he said, the revelation, the so-called revelation he made while launching the book. And the revelation is also in the book. And what is that? You know, he said the January coup that took place in Nigeria, he said it is not Igbo coup. You know, people like us who have studied, who have read deep on what really transpired during that coup and during the Civil War. We've been telling people, I myself have engaged a lot of Yoruba people. I've engaged them. When I was in Nigeria, I engaged them. I told them, this very coup, you guys are saying, we are the people. Say what Igbos are doing today, they caused it. I know, very serious argument. They say we contributed it, that we are the people that first plotted a coup, that Nigeria will not forgive Igbos because of the coup they plotted. I was trying to debunk them that in that very coup, if you read the account of that coup, you will discover that that Igbo coup cut across the whole tribes in Nigeria. The whole tribes, the whole major tribes. That coup, the participants, the people that partook in that very coup, cut across. They say it's a lie. He say Chukwu Makaduna and Zogu. I say now, you people are saying Chukwu Makaduna and Zogu. He's not an Igbo man. He's the one that led the coup. He's the one that do this. So I say, now Chukwu Makaduna and Zogu is not an Igbo man. But the same you people will tell us that why fighting for our Biafra, we should leave South-South. That South-South is not part of Biafra. But when it comes to Q, the person that headed the Q is an Igbo man, because Chukwu Makaduna Zogu was born and bred in the north. He speaks Hausa, he speaks Fulani fluently. But just that he's from Opanam in Delta State. But when it comes to Q, he's not an Igbo man. When it comes to things of Nigeria, he's not a Biafran. Do you see how you guys are deceiving yourselves? And I even told them that the purpose of that Q is to make sure that their brother being Awolowo became the listing of Nigeria, became the prime minister of Nigeria. So I keep telling them these things, they will still counter. I say, you guys, you know, one thing we understood is that after the war, Yorubas, they were on media. They tried to sell some certain narrative. I'm not saying this thing to sow more discord, but I'm saying the fact. What I'm saying is nothing but the truth, it's factual. They sold some narrative to do what? To belittle and to make Igbo a mockery in Nigeria. Now today, IBB have come to open up. And he was part of the people, the counter coup. It was because after January 15 coup, after 6 months, they had another coup, which they referred as counter coup. He partook, this IBB partook in the counter coup. A lot of Igbos, a lot of Biafrans were buyed at the process. A lot were buyed. And he is aware that that coup is not an Igbo coup. And it's unfortunate. Right in that, even the book launch, you will see the people that made Nigeria a misery for ordinary Nigerians. They all gathered there. They were just there, just book lunch. They are calling millions of naira. Millions. And also in that book launch, he said, actually, Abiola won the election. It's just that we blacks, especially Nigerians, we don't have this no integrity. No integrity, because if actually that Nigeria is a nation that the people, the inhabitants of Nigeria, especially the people who refers themselves as the elite, has integrity, they would have lashed Babangida there, because which point is he even trying to make to prove? Which point is he even trying to make? Now the Abiola don't buy, the wife buy, a lot of people buy, and you now come up to tell the world that the election was free and fair, that you regret annulling the election. Man, it's unfortunate. And something happened. The reason why I'm making this video is this. I could remember Aloy Ejimako, who is the lead counsel of MNK. He made a tweet. Was it last month? When I saw the tweet, I said, to me, I don't fancy the tweet. I said, what's the purpose of this tweet again? When a prophet is saying something. In fact, this has proven MNK to be. In Radio Biafra, he used to say that if there is anybody that will predict accurately, that his prediction will match his own prediction, that he will, I've forgotten what he said he would do. Aloy Ejimako, in her official X handle, he wrote, 21st January 2025, Mazen Nandekano threatens to sue anybody peddling the wicked lie of 1966 Igbo coup. I come again. 21st January 2025, Mazen Nandekano threatens to sue anybody peddling the wicked lie of 1966 Igbo coup. 21st February, exactly 1 month, 2025, IBB confirmed that it was not an Igbo coup. Both are exactly 1 month apart. If that is not prophetic or even messianic, I don't know what it is. I come again, I beg your pardon. 21st January 2025, Mazen Nandekano threatens to sue anybody peddling the wicked lie of 1966 Igbo coup. 21st February 2025, IBB confirms that it was not an Igbo coup. Both are exactly 1 month apart. If that is not prophetic or even messianic, I don't know what it is. MNK, the prophet of our time. There's something he said in God. He said the injustices being melted on Igbo people, that he is here to end it. The reason why he's doing what he's doing is because of how Nigerians have been treating Igbos. That Nnamdi will end it. Will be the end of this marginalization, of this treatment they are giving to Igbos. Look at it. Truth, they said, is only thing that stands the test of time. Nigerians, to you people that conspired to buy Igbos, starve Igbos, seize their fortune, blackmail them, project all manner of lies, just to make sure that Igbos are being treated like they're not part of Nigeria. At a point, after the 1966 coup, the massacre, the pogrom continued. Ojukwu left with no option than to do what? To pull out from Nigeria to protect his people, according to him. They called him a rebel. Nigeria unleashed the arsenal, coupled with Britain and the world, against this same tribe. Even till today, the one called the Fulani presidency during their time, right from when Buhari was there, they excluded Igbo virtually in every project they executed during his own time. Now, currently, Tinubu is doing the same thing. If they want to go on their own, Biafrans want to go, when I say they go nowhere, and you don't want to carry them along. There are some certain positions you don't even want them, because we are waiting for go on, oh no, because and Obasanjo own. Especially that go on. See that man, the punishment we say, he no go buy you. He go there alive. They beg, may buy, come. May buy, come, but he no go come. He no go buy. He go there alive, they pray, may death come, but lie, that death no go show. Because he's the one that spearheaded all these things. Starve innocent women and children to death, and they saw it. In other parts of Nigeria, activities was going on. Whereas in one part of Nigeria, their children, innocent women and children, they are being eyed of starvation. And you want to tell me, say, it go better for Nigeria. Today, IBB that partook in the counter coup that took the life of many Igbo officers and many Igbo civilians. Look at what it's saying. All right, you will listen to what Dr. Charles Apoki said about the book and about the personality of IBB. You will also listen to what Very Dark Man said about same book and about what he feels that Nigeria has to do to Igbos. The injustice. The injustice is too much. The injustice is mind-blowing. But we must continue. See Nigeria. Nigeria go suffer, Nigeria go pay. There's something Very Dark Man suggests. Say, if Nigeria happens to be a same country, they would have, other tribes in Nigeria would have come out in the street to apologize to Igbos and pay them compensation for peddling the lies that how many decades now these lies have been used to treat them as if they are not human. Say Nigerians need to apologize to them because they've wronged them. No long talk. On a watch. The new Biafrans, I greet you all. Peace and love. Share the video to go more viral.
All right, so the news says Ohaneze seek apology of 10 trillion naira compensation from Tinubu. Well, I don't think it's supposed to be to Tinubu. It's supposed to be to the federal government. Yes, the Igbo people need apology from the federal government. Because if IBB's book is revealing that waiting we think say na Igbo coup will lead to the Biafra war, will lead to the dying of a lot of Igbos, the starvation of a lot of Igbos, the disastrous impact to their tribe. Do you understand? If at the end of the day, IBB's book is telling us that it's not the Igbo coup, then it's crazy. You understand? The federal government needs to apologize to these people. By now, Seth, to be very honest, normally, the whole country is supposed to be on the streets. They're supposed to do a protest because of this book. They're supposed to do a protest and demand that the federal government apologize to the Igbos. Now, this generational beef don't happen since that coup. There's a generational beef where don't happen since the coup and since Biafra. Some tribes now, they fear. A lot of tribes, they fear because they know say, okay, yes, they fear say, if Igbo man turn president for this country, that's where Ojuku be one do. Now the Igbo man go one do. The Igbo man self go one scatter Nigeria. Do you understand? The Yorubas, from which side they see, because the Yorubas and the Igbo, they always attack themselves for Twitter. The Yorubas go attack Igbos. They go call the Igbos go attack Yorubas, say they be betrayer, and then betray this thing where make Ojuku no get Biafra. The Yorubas go talk their own. Do you understand? But again, that thing, that's cool, has dented the names of the Igbos where make some tribes does not want an Igbo man to get power. Usually it's supposed to be outside Igbo Yoruba where go enter power. You understand? They're supposed to share them. You get, but for some reason it didn't happen. So I'm also of the opinion that they deserve an apology and they deserve compensation. Not just that, there's supposed to be a march across the whole Nigeria for this revolution. And that IPB book self, they're not even supposed, that book not even supposed to be where people they go by, they read. Although it's good to get the knowledge, but I'm not sure say IPB is supposed to make money from that book. And like I said in my previous post, bro, if the advanced country, that man is supposed to pay for whatever thing he did and all in that June 12th election. And they see for Twitter now, they say, he create a lot of states. He can do that. Do you understand? But, more... Anyways, I follow for the people where they request and they demand apology for the Igbos from the federal government, not from Tinubu. You understand? Because Tinubu no follow for the military regime then. Yes, he didn't no follow. So it's from the federal government. Because after Tinubu, the government still there. So it's from the federal government. It's not Tinubu's government, the federal government, the whole structure of the government. The federal government should apologize to the Igbo. And that 10 trillion, yes, no na carry federal government go court. Your generation suffered because of that coup. Not just your generation, because at the end of the day, said no be only the Igbos they buy during this thing. My own generation too suffer. The Hausa suffered, the Yoruba suffered because of a lie. A lot of tribes suffered because of that lie. Because of the manipulation, a lot of tribes suffered. No, let me not limit it to the Igbos now. Because of a single lie. And a single narrative. That was an Igbo coup. So yes, they deserve an apology. And yes, all in the favor of a good protest, peaceful protest. So me, if you notice the way I talk since I try coin my word way before they come say very dark man is the one that's ignited the fire, or is the one that what's be that their English where they use instigated people to go and protest and scatter life and property. I beg, peaceful, peace and love, don't play.
56 years, somebody was bold enough to say that it wasn't an Igbo coup in 1966 that killed the then Prime Minister, that subsequently led to the Civil War. I was 7 years old in 1966. I started listening to radio very early. I started reading newspapers very early. So I followed the sequence of events to an extent. Listen, there's something called schema. Schema is the files in your brain based on information that you have heard that forms the framework for your analysis and response to information and to people. And so a great percentage of people of northern extraction had the impression that the Igbos were the ones who planned the coup. And it has turned out to be untrue from Babangida's reports and from the reports of several others, including Chukwuemeka Odumegu Ojukwu. I have lived with the Igbos. They are not the picture your evil fathers painted for you or painted to you. that is determining your reaction to them. There might be few unscrupulous people, just like in every other tribe. But the Igbos are very, very patriotic citizens. Imagine the number of people that died during the Civil War. Imagine the starvation of children. Imagine abandoned properties. Imagine those killed in the north. Pregnant women, their bellies were opened and children were exterminated. That's one of the greatest evils we ever committed in this country. And we must apologize to the Igbo nation. We must compensate them. And if they are saying they don't want to be in this country, they have a solid point. Let me just continue with this video. Let me not break the videos up. Now, one of the heroes of June 12 was an Igbo man, Professor Humphrey Wonsu. Professor Humphrey Wonsu was the chairman of NEC, National Electoral Commission. He insisted on doing the right thing. They were supposed to be given national awards. He conducted the freest and fairest election in the history of Nigeria, June 12. Despite all the pressures for him to do contrary, he insisted on the right thing being done. He was intimidated, he was threatened, but he stood his ground until one justice, I called his name in the other video, I can't remember his name now, passed a judgment. One Ikpeme passed placed an order. 12 at night, passed an order at night. Her court held at night. Whether it was a coven, I don't know. And then the justice from the north stopped the release of the results. I told you that Kama is not an Indian. Kama is not an Indian. He is all over the world. That man died of COVID during the time of COVID. Professor Humphrey Wonsu died on October 24th, 2024. He will be buried March 28th, 2025. He was interviewed by Showore, Sahara reporters 10 years ago. And he gave his reasons. He gave his own narration that Abiola won the June 12 election. He is an Igbo man from Anambra State. I believe that he deserves a national honor. I believe that the INEC office should be named after Professor Humphrey Wonsu. Why? With barest resources, with barest technology, he was able to conduct the freest and fairest election. He was an Igbo man. It was a Yoruba man, a Muslim, and King Gibe, another Muslim that won. But the Igbo man insisted that he should be made president. He declared the results that he won. Now, with so much technology, beavers, whatever, IREV, we gave billions to somebody. I call you name now, go say how they do cyberbullying. We gave you billions. We couldn't conduct an election freely and fairly. Beavers was turning round and round. Listen, Kama will catch up with you. If you want to write a book, before the launching of the book, karma will catch up with you. Your wickedness will affect you as your wickedness affected people and their generations. It will also affect you. Wicked people. Professor Humphrey Wonsu deserves a national award. President Tinubu, you were part of the struggle for June 12. Name INEC building after Professor Humphrey Wonsu so that any person approaching that building will know, like as Chinua Achebe wrote, there was a country, that there was an election. Do this for fair play and justice. I'm going to do another video on some northern officers, Colonel Umar and his group, that wanted Abiola to be installed as president. I will do another video about Yoruba elders that ganged up against Abiola. So remove this schema from your brain where you have Yoruba Ronu, you have Arewa, you have stupid ideas in your brains that make you tribal bigots and idiots according to the Greek philosophy of politics. With a vex, so our elders are passing away. The baton is coming to us, the next group of elders. We must tell the truth so that our children can be set free. There is no Yoruba, Igbo, or Hausa in this country, or Fulani in this country. It is only wicked, selfish bandits. Banditry, according to Marco Cipolla, is when people take from the country without contributing to it. I remain Dr. Charles Apoki, area grandfather, the vex. The vexo. 56 years of mislabeling a tribe, a nation, the Igbo nation. 56 years. Now these cowards are talking.
You also made the point in your first book,
yes,
that it was not an Igbo coup.
No, it's not an Igbo coup. It's not an Igbo coup. Because I disagree with those people who have been lying that Ujogu coup was an Igbo coup. Some of them are even arguing that because only Ademoyiga, Major Ademoyiga, who is a Yoruba major, if not the whole 8 of them were Igbos. That was the premise they look at it from. And it was a wrong premise. You see, a revolution is a revolution. Whether people are from the same place, provided you have the same mind to remove those in power, it doesn't matter at all. It doesn't matter at all. I don't agree with those people who tag Unzogo revolution as Igbo revolution.
You know, some would say that the killings were targeted towards certain regions.
Mm-hmm.
Why another region was excluded from the killings.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at the region that was excluded from the killing, the eastern region, most of the officers that carried out that coup came from that region or close to it. So they have defined that coincidence as an Igbo coup.
Not even coincidence. You can't say it's coincidence.
Okay.
It's a reality. The revolutionary wanted to change the government. Who were the people who were holding the apparatus of the government? The ruling class, the ruling party. Sarara was the head of the party. He stayed in Kaduna. If you want to change that government without eliminating Sarara, do you think that government that coup will succeed? That was why they became target of the revolutionaries.
What about Akintola?
Akintola was, yes, Akintola You see what happened was that they made an alliance with the party of Akintola. I was telling that the ruling party wanted to extend their political tentacle to capture power in the West. And it deteriorated to crisis, serious crisis. You see, so Western region became a problematic region that must be dealt with. The Prime Minister, Tafawa Balewa, who was supposed to use his power to quell the situation in the West, refused. So when Uyo came up, they wanted to bring peace in the Western region. Even when they are talking about Igbo coup, I always laugh at them. When you say that it was an Igbo coup, who was the person who was the mark to become the prime minister? Was it Okpara in the east? Was it Azikiwe, who had no power, who was a titular president general? It was Awolowo from the west. Then what type of interest the revolutionary wanted to protect? If they call it an Igbo coup, picking somebody from the west to become the prime minister. So they had a national interest, not an Igbo interest at all.
You sound as if Nzogu is your hero.
Yes, he's my hero. He's my hero. Up till now, he's my hero. He's my hero.
Otsoja, you're saying that?
Yes. And because if he's not a hero, he's a nationalist. Nzogu was a nationalist to the core. You see, people, all these politicians are talking from their both sides of their mouth. When Nzogu was killed in July 1967, around the campuses of Nsukka University, in the night, by 21 Battalion, under Captain Wofisi. They recognized his body and they informed go on, order them to remove the body to Kaduna for a befitting burial, national burial. He was given that national honor. Nzogu was given that national honor. So he was a hero. And when people talk about Igbo coup, I always laugh at them.